Hey everyone, Cosmic Mango here, your favorite mango from outer space. Welcome back to another video. Commander is a fantastic format full of diversity and deck brewing exploration. In today's video, we are going to take a deep dive into some highly unique commanders to spice up those games for you. So without further ado, sit back, relax and enjoy the show. Let's check out these unique commanders. Number 1. Kambal, Profiteering Mayor, a legendary creature human advisor that costs 1 black, 1 white and 1 generic mana to cast. He has 2 power and 4 toughness and says the following. Whenever one or more tokens your opponents control enter, for each of them create a tapped token that's a copy of it. This ability triggers only once each turn. Whenever one or more tokens you control enter, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So this is a highly unique commander, offering a unique spin on standard token decks and even aristocrat style decks. Whenever an opponent creates a token, we get to make a copy for it, which is very cool. And whenever we do have a token enter, we drain 1 life from all opponents and gain 1 life in the process. This can be incredibly powerful and fun to play around with. With Kambal as our commander, any removal spell that removes a target but replaces it with a token raises dramatically in power to god tier status. Cards such as Bovine Intervention and Generous Gift are just superb here. This is because they remove targets, create a token for an opponent, which means we get a token copy, and finally we drain 1 life since a token has entered the battlefield under our control. This is just so cool. Many cards in the format, which often do not see much play at all because they're pretty terrible, can actually shine within a Kambal Profiteering Mayor deck. For example, cards such as Agroan Horse are just insane here. Agroan Horse is an artifact creature horse that costs 4 generic mana to cast, and it says the following. Defender, when this creature enters, an opponent gains control of it. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent creates a 1/1 white soldier creature token. So, in regular commander decks, why on earth would you want to have opponents create 3 tokens? This is against our interests and can highly cause a lot of harm instead of help, because we do not want them attacking or blocking with those tokens or sacrifice them or using them for whatever they need to. However, with Kambal as our commander, we can benefit massively. Whenever an opponent generates a token, we make a copy and drain life. So, Agroan Horse is a powerhouse here. Overall, if you're looking for a unique token generating deck with an aristocrat flair to it, then this commander is an exceptional choice. And you can buy this commander for around $6. Number 2, Aminatou the Fateshifter, a legendary planeswalker that costs 1 black, 1 blue and 1 white mana to cast. She enters with 3 loyalty counters and says the following. +1, draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your library. -1, exile another target permanent you own, then return it to the battlefield under your control. -6, choose left or right. Each player gains control of all non-land permanents other than Aminatou controlled by the next player in the chosen direction. Aminatou Fateshifter can be your commander. Okay, so Aminatou is a truly unique planeswalker, as she is one of the few who can serve as your commander, a rarity within the commander format. What sets Aminatou apart are her interesting set of abilities, which not many commanders offer, making her stand out from the crowd. Her +1 ability excels at setting up Myrkul cards, ensuring that they're on top of your library, where they can unleash their full potential. For those unfamiliar, Myrkul is a keyword mechanic that lets you cast a powerful spell at a significantly reduced casting cost if it's the first card you draw in a turn. One thing I've always found kind of funny about Myrkul cards is how easy it is to actually cheat with this mechanic in a casual environment. This is because players can just lie and state that the Myrkul card was the first card they drew that turn, and they may have had it in their hand from ages ago. Please don't do this. If you do, that's pretty lame and it's a nasty tactic. But yeah, Myrkul needs to be controlled somehow. I just don't know how. If any of you guys have any ideas on how you can watch people or stop people from doing such a thing, let me know, because I don't think there is. I mean, you can't see people's hands, yes, and you can't see what they're drawing. So yeah, anyway, I digress. Her -1 ability is perfect for flickering permanents that you control, enabling clever combos and strategic plays, helping us abuse any powerful ETB cards that we may have in play. Finally, there's her ultimate, the -6 ability, which is as chaotic as it is game-changing. This ability lets you manipulate everyone's board state, turning an entire Commander game on its head, warping the whole table. She's so darn unique. Here's a cool Myrkul card that I would highly recommend running with this Commander, and it is Terminus, a sorcery spell that costs 2 white and 4 generic mana to cast. It says the following: put all creatures on the bottom of their owner's libraries. For Myrkul, which is a 1 white mana, you may cast this card for its Myrkul cost when you draw it if it's the first card you drew this turn. So, as a standard cast, Terminus makes decent removal, helping us throw all creatures to the bottom of their owner's libraries for 6 mana. However, thanks to Aminatou and her +1 ability, we can manipulate that Myrkul keyword and cast this for as little as just 1 white mana. Super good stuff. Works wonders, of course, with this Commander. Overall, with her interesting mechanics and stunning artwork, Aminatou stands out as a one-of-a-kind figure in Magic the Gathering. She's truly deserving of her reputation as unique. And you can buy this Commander for around $3.50. Number 3. Myrkul, Lord of Bones. A legendary creature god that costs 1 green, 1 black, 1 white, and 4 generic mana to cast. It has 7 power and 5 toughness and says the following: as long as your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, Myrkul has Indestructible. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's an enchantment and loses all other card types. Okay, so let's start off with the first bit of kit on this Commander. Yes, it offers that wonderful Indestructible keyword. However, we have to have less than or equal to our starting life total to achieve it. In Commander, this is of course the number 20. Maybe a little bit annoying to achieve, but a handy effect should our life total drop to this number. What makes Myrkul so unique though is how it can convert our dying creatures into enchantments. This is incredibly interesting, a mechanic rarely seen. When a creature we control dies, we may exile it and have it return as an enchantment token. It loses all other card types. This means it no longer will be a creature, so it can't attack or block, etc. But it will keep whatever spicy keywords and abilities it may have had. Thankfully, green, black and white are stacked with loads of excellent and powerful creature options that we can use and abuse with their hopefully glorious drawn keywords alongside Myrkul. One thing to note, however, is yes, this Commander is sweet, but has a hefty total casting cost of 7 total mana, so it's a little bit tricky to cast. No chance in getting him out early game. Maybe there is a way, but anyway, usually no. I highly recommend running mana ramp spells to get ahead, and perhaps even some good old mana rocks. This means that we can efficiently get him out as quick as possible. Here is a cool creature that I would pair with this Commander, and it is Grim Guardian, an enchantment creature zombie that costs 1 black and 2 generic mana to cast. It has 1 power and 4 toughness, and it says the following: Consolation. Whenever this creature or another enchantment you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life. So the plan with Myrkul is to have a lot of enchantments entering, yeah? So why not capitalize off this little effect and use Grim Guardian to drain opponents by 1 life per enchantment that we have entering. Another cool thing is with this being a creature, if it does die, we can use Myrkul to bring it back as an enchantment, which is very, very cool. Overall, Myrkul is a highly unique Commander, offering a great deal of value to keep our games interesting. If you enjoy enchantment-focused decks, you'll adore this Commander. And remember, it's a lot harder to remove enchantments compared to creatures, so if we do return stuff back with Myrkul, they are bound to stick on the board for quite some time. You can buy this Commander for around 50 cents. Number 4. Grenzo, Dungeon Warden. A legendary creature, Goblin Rogue that costs 1 red, 1 black and X mana to cast. He has 2 power and 2 toughness and says the following: Grenzo enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. For 2 generic mana, put the bottom card of your library into your graveyard. If it's a creature card with power less than or equal to Grenzo's power, put it onto the battlefield. So, Grenzo Dungeon Warden is an incredibly unique commander. I honestly can't think of another one that's quite like him. His ability, which lets you pay 2 generic mana to put the bottom card of your library into your graveyard, is unlike anything else we typically see in the format. This opens the door to some truly fascinating and interesting deck building possibilities. Grenzo's randomness injects an element of surprise and excitement into every game, making each match feel like its own unpredictable adventure. Focus on finding ways to throw cool cards at the bottom of our library and utilize our commander Grenzo to cheat creatures onto the battlefield for way lower casting costs and throw cards into the graveyard which we can capitalize with later with reanimation tactics. Please remember, Grenzo needs to have a high power in order to fully exploit his abilities without any issues. So cast him for a large X cost or find ways to buff him up to make him stronger. The higher his power, the more fluid the deck's going to run. Of course, there are plenty of combo pieces that can be exploited with Grenzo, and there are many different paths that you can take when building this deck. I feel like brewing a deck with him challenges you to think outside the box, pushing deck building strategies to a whole new level of creativity, which is very cool. Here is a very nice card that you can combine with him to get an idea on how to build a deck with him. And it's the Cauldron of Eternity, a legendary artifact spell that costs 2 black and 10 generic mana. Yes, 10, that's a massive number, but don't worry, there are ways to get this out a lot easier, as the card says the following. This spell costs 2 generic mana less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. Whenever a creature you control dies, put it into the bottom of its owner's library. For 2 generic mana and 1 black mana, and tap and pay 2 life, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. So yeah, superb card with Grenzo. They synergize very nicely together. If we want important creatures in play to stick around, we can choose for them to go to the bottom of our libraries. If they die, then we can utilize Grenzo to bring them back. So yeah, great stuff. We can even use our Bubbling Cauldron to bring back creatures from our graveyard to the battlefield, which is really good. We just got to pay that cost. Overall, Grenzo Dungeon Warden offers a one-of-a-kind and highly entertaining playing experience, definitely worth trying out. And you can buy this commander for around 50 cents. Okay, number 5, the final commander on my list today. And it is Obeka, Splitter of Seconds, a legendary creature Ogre Warlock that costs 1 red, 1 black and 1 blue and 1 generic mana to cast. She has 2 power and 5 toughness and says the following. Menace. Whenever Obeka deals combat damage to a player, you get that many additional upkeep steps after this phase. So yeah, I think this commander is so cool and of course highly unique. In fact, I've got a real itch now to actually try and build this commander myself. So Obeka offers an explosive and fun mechanic. Whenever she deals combat damage to a player, we get that many additional upkeep steps after the combat phase. This means we can highly abuse and harvest great effects from any powerful upkeep triggers that we may have. Find ways to give her unblockable, make her have higher power, and things can get very explosive. Cast spells with wonderful upkeep triggers, and Obeka is going to offer you a very enjoyable playing experience. The larger her damage that is dealt, the more upkeeps we get. Simple, but very good. Here are 2 wicked cool cards that I would combine with this commander. And the first one is Twilight Prophet, a vampire creature that costs 2 black and 2 generic mana to cast, and she says the following. Flying, ascend, if you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have the City's Blessing, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. Each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is that card's mana value. So fun, and yeah, fun fact, this is actually one of my all-time favorite cards in Magic the Gathering. I opened one years ago in a booster pack and have loved it ever since. It offers so much good, juicy card text for just 4 mana, and it's a vampires. I love vampires, so yeah, this is a great all-around card for me. With Obeka, we can really push this card to the limits and gain a lot of momentum, card draw, life drain, and life gain. So yeah, it's very good. The second card that I'd recommend for Obeka is Mechanized Production, an enchantment aura that costs 2 blue and 2 generic mana to cast. It says the following. Enchant artifact you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted artifact. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as another, you win the game. So this is awesome. Not only can we make copies of our best artifact that we control, we can use this card as a win condition. Have 8 copies of the target artifact in play and we win the game. This is bonkers. When you combine it with Obeka, if we get enough damage through with her extra upkeep triggers, we can win with ease. So yeah, superb card. Overall, Obeka makes an excellent and highly unique Grixis commander. Lots and lots of fun. You can buy this commander for around 50 cents. Okay, we've arrived to the end of the video. In conclusion, I hope that today I've shown you a cool commander for you to pick up and build. What do you think of the commanders I've listed? Have any of you played one of these commanders before? Do you have any recommendations? If so, let me know in the comment section below. I love reading your comments and always try my best to answer them all. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, check out the 2 other videos that should have popped up on the screen. Please drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to keep updated for more of my future commander content. Thanks for watching everyone, and as always, take care and goodbye.